part 3 session. I welcome you to the part 3 session of this topic on inflation. This time around, we're going to look at cost push inflation. As we explained earlier on, cost push inflation comes as a result of increase in cost of production and factors of production, which leads to a high cost of production, and that high cost of production reduces supply, thereby increasing prices of goods and services. As you can see in the diagram, at equilibrium we have supply and demand are equal, and price is what? P1, and the quantity is Q1. Now, as a result of higher prices of the inputs that is used in producing goods and services, what happens? It limits or reduces the capital base of producers, so thereby reducing the quantities or reducing the supply of producers. And this is expressed by decreasing the supply curve, or shifting the supply curve from S1 to S2 to the left. Now, when supply reduces at a constant demand of the commodity, there will be shortages or pressure, and this shortage would increase price of the good from P1 to P2, leading to something we call inflation, cost push inflation. What are the various causes? Rising prices of goods and services. So when rising prices of raw material, so when price of raw material increases, it leads to cost push inflation. 2, demand for higher wages. Now, when trade union and workers demand higher wages, it adds up to the cost of the producer, and the producer will respond by adding it to the price, leading to inflation. Increase in indirect taxes. When when indirect taxes increases, it adds up to the cost of the producer, and the producer will in turn add it to the price, leading to inflation. Increase in transportation cost. Transportation cost is also a cost to the producer. So when the transport cost increases, it increases the cost of production, and the producer in turn add it to the price. Increase in utility tariffs or rates. When utility tariffs is higher, it increases the cost of the producer, and the producer in turn added it to the price. Increase in prices of inputs due to devaluation. When price of inputs increases, it increases the cost of the producer, and the producer in turn adding it to the price, leading to inflation. Or address now what are the measures that can be push inflation? 1, there should be price control. The government can put in place minimum price control to reduce the shortages. 2, reduction in indirect taxes on raw materials and finished goods. 3, provision of government subsidies on the production and supply of essential products. Government subsidies here mean government they're helping the producer by way of either maybe giving those inputs to the farmers, or giving it to them at a reduced rate. Improvement in the level of technology. So when the level of technology improves, it reduces the cost, thereby reducing prices. Imports of equipment from cheaper sources. So when those equipment that is used in production are imported from cheaper sources, with me at a reduced price, what happens? It reduces the cost, thereby reducing prices. I am afraid we are going to end our part 3 session of the inflation here. Till I come your way with the part 4 session. Peace be upon you. Bye bye.